The Captain Cook 50s, I do like them and I love searching the 50-cent coins, but let's focus on this one. $1.85 to $7.80 is a recent selling price range on these 50-cent coins. They were made in 1970, so I usually hold on to them if they're in pretty good condition. If they're pretty rough, I just let them go. But this coin right here, that's a Fijian 50-cent coin, and I just found that searching through Australian 50-cent coins. So sometimes you come across foreign coins, coins from other countries, and that's really interesting. But yeah, if you're interested in those coin value lists through the link in my account, let's see if we can snag one that's on the list. Let's go. So 50-cent coins, there's so many different designs that have been produced, and that keeps it interesting. But there's also just some standard designs that they didn't make many of, and they're worth a bit more. So I like those ones too. Here we go. 83. A little bit closer, please. Thank you. 1969. 2010. Some of these can be rotated, which means that it's offline, so it's a bit of an error. And if you find a 2010 rotated, $49 to $86.50 on the list right there. So they are worth looking for. Hold it at the top and the bottom of the coin, and when you flip it around, the queen's nose is supposed to be pointing to 3 o'clock straight over there, but sometimes she's pointing in a different direction. She's pointing to 3 o'clock. That's where she's supposed to be, so we let that go. But yeah, the 2010 50-cent coins are sort of known. Some of them are known to have that. Okay, so Australia, 1994, the year of the family or something like that. But they made a lot of these, so I tend to let them go. The Silver Jubilee, they made a fair few of these, but it's a pretty interesting design, and it still can hold a bit of value. So I do include it on the lists. $1.45 to $20 is a recent selling price range on those. Let's put it aside. These ones here, you can get a little error on these, a couple of different errors. So you can get a blob on the top of the helmet here. You can get a blob at the bottom of this robe here. And they're the two main things. It adds a few dollars of value if you can find either of those two. $2014, you can get a thing called a crop circle, so a little circle type feature in this void over there, and I'm not seeing anything in that one, but the 2014s are known to have that. This is a lower mintage date, which means they didn't make many in 1974, or as many, so $1.55 to $50, if it's in perfect condition or really good condition, $50 is what one sold for recently, but in worn condition like this, a couple of dollars, a few dollars potentially to the right person. So I'll put that aside. 2003, what's this? The Volunteers coin. They made a fair few of these, so I tend to let them go. But there we go. Interesting people volunteering in all sorts of different fields, and that's sort of represented on the coin right there. So that's interesting. That's cool. Let's it go. I've got a fair few of them. 1980, these can have a thing called a double bar. So behind the emu's head, you can get two little lines of metal that come in at the emu's head. This one doesn't have it. I could zoom in to show you a little bit better, but yeah, there's nothing to sort of see on this one. But yeah, in that region behind the emu's head, you can get two little bars of metal coming in. They're worth a little bit more on the 1980, so check the 1980 coins for that. Bass and Flinders, they made a fair few of those. That's cool, it's cool. Let it go. 2001, it's very common. People ask me this question a fair bit. This sort of doubling over here, it's very common on these 2001 Australia, Centennial Federation Australia coins. What you really want to sort of look for on these ones is extra blobs of metal down the back of this kangaroo. It's called a roozilla when you've got metal coming through the back of the kangaroo. And a recent selling price range on those, I'll just find it. So 2001 roozilla, $7 is one of those sold for recently. So keep your eye out for those. 2021, I'm just checking. It used to be, but I think the mintage figures went a bit higher, so no, it's not on the list anymore. The 2021 50-cent coin, but from that lot right there, we had two coins we found. 1974, cool. Silver Jubilee, 1977, both in the 70s, and the one I started the video with, the Captain Cook, that's also in the 70s. So interesting coins all over the place.